What is up, everybody? I'm NoLuxGiven, back with more Dupery. Let's see what we can get into today. Hopefully another perfect crime blind challenge, but whatever quirks we happen to come across should be fun. We can go for a dirty cop. The partner is tainted if they are surrounded by an evil role. That seems pretty tough. We also have visible justice. If your reputation is poor, arresting a traitor increases your reputation by 1. Okay, so that one's just helpful. That could be useful. And we also have the shrink. The therapist now considers meddlers evil. I think to start off with, I'm just going to take the easiest quirk available, which gives us the opportunity to pick up some harder quirks in the future, and also gives me the opportunity to get a bit of a warm-up as we kick off this video here. We've got a drunkard, a bounty hunter, and a wannabe as our potential meddlers. 2 of those 3 will be in play, in addition to a con man and a serial killer. This saying that number 7 is the serial killer actually makes me want to flip over 3 and 8 first, because if 6 dies, well, then we know that 7 is the serial killer. So let's flip over 3 and 8, and we start by seeing a con man, which could just be our wannabe. I guess we could have started by flipping over 7, though. I heard that a strange guy in town has 4 neighbors. Who is that? That looks to be only 7. Well, here's what I'll say. It seems like 7 is bad, or it is both 8 and 2, though some of those could be the drunkard in some capacity. We do know that we have a wannabe at this point. Let's flip over 7. This seems like our serial killer, doesn't it? Let's flip over 6 before they die to the serial killer. The mathematician has calculated the number 13. So this could be our con man, and this could be our serial killer, and this is our wannabe. The clock tower just went off at 8 hours. There's the clockmaker, but that's wrong. This clockmaker could be our drunkard then, or it could be bounty hunter tainted. Another mathematician with 13, I think, is just going to mean this is always the con man. This is always the serial killer, especially as this one has died. We now know that this has to be our serial killer, because the serial killer only kills good rolls. And yeah, this just makes too much sense. That is our con man, and that is a pretty free warm-up case, I think. Now we can go for the dirty cop. Again, there's also the broken radio, which says all categories in the ratio incorrectly read as 0. That is really tough to me. If we pick this up, that might be all that I wind up going for. But I am kind of curious to try it. Okay. This is a different type of blind dupery. I think it's not quite the perfect crime, but I think that will make this video quite challenging. And I don't know. I don't know how the broken radio cases are ever solvable, but I'm willing to give it a shot. So now we have no clue how many innocents or meddlers or underlings or traitors we have. I will say, I'm pretty confident we have 0 traitors, and I'm also pretty confident we have 2 underlings. We could probably imagine that we have 2 or 3 meddlers, so maybe a drunkard, maybe not. Going to be kind of tough to tell, though if we only see either the surgeon or the stalker, then we'll know that we have a drunkard. So that much is fairly straightforward. The partner says that 9 is a mobster, which will always be double claiming someone. And then we also have to find a serial killer somewhere. I'd like to start with something a little bit more central in case a serial killer comes out. 2 hours in, the clock ticks. And a private eye doesn't tell us anything until the 10th hour, right? Okay, so this private eye is doing what it's supposed to do. We also have a doppelganger. We could doppelganger private eye. Oh, an uninvestigated underling, if possible. Sure. All right, let's go here next to 4, 9. 9 being the mobster again, potentially. Is this a meddler? Yeah. Could be the drunk clockmaker. The clock never went off this time, right? That could be a drunk clockmaker. Or this weatherman could be full of malarkey. Let's flip over number 1, and the partner is dead. Well, it certainly seems like the serial killer is one of these 3. This therapist has to be telling the truth, though. I maybe should have used this doppelganger, but now we know that this partner, because they're dead, was probably telling the truth, so it probably means that this private eye is telling the truth, and then that makes this doppelganger bad. Oh, that's right, doppelgangers have to be used on activate abilities anyways. Mathematician, the number 14. I think you're 1 off. I think the real number is 15, in fact, but I'm definitely arresting this mobster. That also means that we have a real mathematician somewhere. Wait, let's find the real mathematician. 15, the math is finally mathing. That is our serial killer. All right, so broken clock or broken radio, whatever it's called, not totally tough just yet. There's also the ticking clock here. You lose 4 reputation if you reach the 24th hour without solving the case. 1 innocent becomes evil. Oh gosh. And the fall guy now pretends to be an innocent in-play role. These are all crazy ones. Let's go for ticking clock, though. That seems the most manageable. And looks like a similar spread to last time. Probably 2 underlings, 2 or 3 meddlers, and the rest are going to be innocent. We have a con man, and we have a mistress, which means we have a wife, and the wife is good. The wife is going to give us gobbledygook, though no, she actually does give us pretty good information still, and here she is. So the wife tells us that one of these 3, potentially 3, 6, or the partner, is the partner. And then from there, we can assume that, well, anything could basically be the mistress. Yeah, basically anything but 8 can be the mistress right now. Assuming we don't find another wife. Oh, but this partner's saying that 4 is the wife? Yeah. I mean, I think that just checks out. This could potentially, if we find another wife, we'll question that. Oh, we have a wannabe. Well, this is one of our potential mistresses. If we find a wannabe mistress down here, then that would be really good for us. No, that's our private eye. Okay. Next, let's flip over the youngster. That is possibly our second outcast or meddler, but our second of how many is the question. We'll flip over the reporter, and the private eye says, I got nothing. So if the private eye is telling the truth, then that would be pretty tough to figure out. The clock is ringing 10 hours in, and we have to remember to solve the case before 24 hours. Another private eye a little bit late, but it doesn't make sense that this could be the con man because we had an unrevealed private eye. So I think this has to be the con man then. Oh, which also makes sense for this reporter. Yeah, this is our con man, which happened to give us true information because itself was evil. And then this is the con man, but both of the private eyes make us realize that this is the wannabe. And another fairly easy case. Okay, excellent reputation. This is perfect crime, isn't it? Oh, no, it's not. Okay, this is mortal dread. When someone dies, if your reputation is not poor, lose 1 reputation. I'd rather not lose reputation because we already have a pretty tough quirk. The skeptic will announce nothing unless you have excellent reputation. I could potentially keep excellent reputation. And the partner is tainted if they are surrounded by an evil roll. Let's have the skeptic announce nothing. Because I have an excellent reputation. So the skeptic will still announce here if the skeptic is even in play. Oh, nice little quality of life update here. The barkeep shows the drunkard now, so you can always see what that is. Yeah, no skeptic even in the suspects list. So, I don't know. That's totally fine to me. Now, here's the problem. I have no clue how many underlings are here. I'm going to guess 3 underlings, 2 meddlers, though. That's what I'm going to guess. And, well, if it's wrong, we might just lose because of that. And the broken radio just seems really ridiculous in some scenarios. The wife claiming that there is a mistress. Okay, I believe that for now. We've got a doppelganger, a priest, which seems to just be correct. The wife does need to find a good... So that would mean this is never the partner. Because if this is the partner, this would have to be the mistress, and this can't be the mistress. But this could be the partner, and anything else could be the mistress. This being the partner literally means almost anything could be a mistress. So, a lot of options here still. We find a therapist with 4 evil clients. That simply has to be wrong. I'm going to arrest it. That's our mistress. Easy enough. So one of these 2 is the partner. I'm willing to just believe it's the priest and move along. Chatterbox. Oh. Now here's what I don't know. So last video, I totally did not realize what a chatterbox did. When investigated, an extra 2 hours pass. If at least one evil roll is in the same row as me, an additional extra hour passes. However, I think we're currently at an odd amount of hours because I've made an arrest. We're going to have to pay attention to that, but I think making an arrest advances the clock 1 hour. At which point, the chatterbox, I think, has cleared everyone here. Because we should only be 10 hours through, only flipping over 5 cards. We're 12 hours through because the chatterbox has confirmed itself, and then we're either 1 additional hour because of the mistress or because of the chatterbox. But I think it's because I arrested the mistress, which simply means that all 4 things that we've flipped up already are good, and we can move along. A surgeon. Okay. A milkman. That's a little trickier. Oh gosh. I also have to think about here. Like, a few more arrests. If each arrest is an hour, I might not have enough time to solve this case. Because each arrest is going to be 3 hours, so I think we're going to run out of time to solve this case. I think the chatterbox is good. I don't know how many meddlers we have. I don't know if the milkman will be good or bad. The milkman's going to be good for now. What is the surgeon supposed to do? I might kill an innocent roll. It didn't do it. Right now, I just want to arrest the top of the board, but I'm really not sure what to do here just yet. A second surgeon. We simply have to arrest these surgeons. I can flip over 1 more card, but I may have already lost this. Okay. A therapist in a double claim with the mistress, but also giving us gobbledygook. It could be the drunkard, but I need to start making arrests. That's the barkeep. I think I've got a 50-50 shot. I arrest one of these 2 surgeons, and that did advance 1 hour, by the way. So the chatterbox is good, the doppelganger is good, and the doppelganger needs to select an activate ability. Yeah, pick a roll with a pick a roll ability. So I think it's just 50-50 on the surgeon. No way to discern it. And we also have a drunk somewhere, but like the doppelganger can just be the drunk. Let's arrest this one, because why not? No. Okay. So I think we have to arrest this surgeon still before flipping this card. Otherwise, we'll lose 4 reputation with the ticking clock. And we got there. Okay, so we did get a little bit of reputation back from that. It was just a 50-50, nothing that we could have done about that. If we could have gotten a little bit more information, maybe we could have solved it, but we couldn't get more information because of the ticking clock. So we still get to move along here. We are 57% through, and we are down to poor reputation, which does not feel great, to be honest. The idol now taints all surrounding neighbors. That's probably fine because the idol might not be in play. I kind of want to do some easy cases. Oh, 2 underling in town, 4 underling in town. A hint for our broken radio. Very good. What does the hidden smirk do? The scoundrel will now lie. Now let's just go for the idol. 2 underlings. And +1 reputation if we can solve it. We have a scoundrel and an accountant. And an accountant. So all we have to find is this accountant. And we're good. There's also a jinx, so we can take a look for that. No clue how many meddlers there will be. But a copycat, a bounty hunter, a jinx. I think we're going to be all right on this one. We've already found our scoundrel. Okay. Can we find a chatterbox? My targets are 4, and this just has to be bad. 4, 6, and 8. So between 4, 6, and 8, one of them probably has to be bounty hunter targeted. Probably. We have a therapist with 1 evil client, which I think means... So if this therapist was evil... No, and they can't be corrupted... Yeah, that always means that 3, 4, and 9 are good. Unfortunately, we can't, get back some extra reputation by solving this early, but it has to be between 1, 2, 5, and 8 now. So let's just ignore these for the time being. I've never heard of the chatterbox, and the clockmaker lives in town. Well, we definitely have a chatterbox. I've never heard of the chatterbox. Oh, this might not be a chatterbox. This could be the accountant. Okay, we have to determine between 2 and 8 then who is bad. Calculated the number 8. I think it's 2 and 6 then. Okay, another very easy case. We're getting back some reputation. We're getting some reps in. How are we going to be able to finish this off, though? Because the final case, it's going to be tough to not spend 24 hours on the final case, right? Your suspect list starts with only evil rolls. That's totally fine. I mean, we don't get the meddlers, which is a little bit of a bummer. But otherwise, that's fine. Traitors function while arrested or dead. At least 1 traitor. Adds Misty Streets. Each case starts with an obscured roll. So, while I think it's normally best to try to complete your runs as quick as possible, there's a chance that, if we saw another easier case after this, we could actually get in 3 cases before the final case, and then we're gaining back +1 reputation on each case. So let's maybe try this. It's going to give us evil suspects. Maybe I really don't want evil suspects. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So now I only start knowing the barkeep and the poisoner, which means there is going to be a ton of misinformation on this board of just 7. We will have 4 pieces of misinformation because there have to be 2 underlings, right? 2 underlings, a drunk, and a tainted from the poisoner. The surgeon. The clockmaker. The bounty hunter. 3, 5, 6 in case we needed even more corruption. I heard that a strange guy in town has 2 neighbors. That seemed to be just 1 and 5. But this could be corrupted from the bounty hunter. How will we discern between the 2 of these which is evil? We need a mathematician. All right, well, that could be helpful. 3, 4, and 6. A bounty hunter, if this is a poisoner that actually poisoned 6 and then told us that it's poisoning 6, that should not be allowed. That is wild. Similar thing to this one. It's pointing at 3 and 5, 2 of its neighbors. That should not be allowed, because then the poisoner's telling the truth. Private Eye says I got nothing. Honestly, I got nothing. Other than the fact that there's 3 bounty hunters here, which I don't think is possible. I will take a real quick look to see if a copycat can copy other meddlers. I don't think it can, though. Oh, it can. Can the drunkard pretend to be a meddler? It can. I think that we are basically playing blind at this point. I just don't think that there's enough information nearly to solve this. Every bounty hunter is saying that this gossip could be corrupted. If I make literally one mistake, we are done. The clockmaker did not work. The surgeon did not work. The bounty hunters are saying that everything is corrupted, but maybe it has to be the bounty hunters. But then, like, this could be the poisoner poisoning this, or this could be the drunkard. The private eye only cleared number 1. But if it was drunk, should I just assume that all information is bad, so then the private eye saying I got nothing means that 1 is actually bad? I'm going to try to flip all information. The gossip is saying, though, that it's between 1 and 5. And if I flip that information, then that clears 1 and 5. So maybe the private eye is correct, and the gossip is wrong. Let's go here. That's the barkeep. 15 hours in, the clock goes off. So this clockmaker is clearly poisoned. But the poisoner taints a random surrounding neighbor. I'm going to go off the idea that this gossip is either bounty huntered or drunkarded, so the information is wrong. And one of these 2 is, so like the real bounty hunter, and yeah, we have 3 pieces of information and they're all wrong. That's what I'm going on. No, but this private eye has to be right. That's the wild thing. Like, the private eye and the gossip are actually at odds with each other. Because if the gossip is right, then the private eye is wrong. And if the private eye really did get nothing on this bounty hunter, then the gossip is wrong. Wait. Yes. So, but that means that they both can't be wrong. That's the important thing. So, we have a drunkard. We have a bounty hunter that needs to also be... Well, both of these bounty hunters are targeting 5, and it isn't working. One could be targeting 6. One of these 2 bounty hunters could be the drunkard as well, and that would just be impossible. But I have to go into this idea that the double claim is the baddies. I think. And I'm going to trust the private eye, so I'm going to arrest number 4 and assume that they are poisoning number 3. Wow. Okay. Perfect crime. If we want to just say, F it, we're here. We already have, I mean, we do currently get a list of the evils, but I'm here and I could win with perfect crime, but I'm going to have to get through 2 more cases. Unfortunately, I would love a case with 13% right now, so that way I had to do another case before the final case. But you know what? I don't think that matters, because 1 more reputation means that we could still only make 1 mistake, right? So I think we just take the easiest quirk and roll with it. And that is going to be this one. 2 meddlers, good intuition. Sure. Let's go for this. 2 meddlers, and 2 meddlers is the most important thing to know right here. We also see a barkeep, a spectre, and an accountant. 2 meddlers, plus the drunkard. Let's not forget that one. Bloodhound pointing east, which is a good way to point. Okay. Milkman has joined the case. Surgeon has as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, plus 3 arrests. We can get there. We can get there in under 24 hours, even if we make 1 mistake. Calculated the number 8. Well, I don't know how many underlings we have. The number 8 could be reasonable, but if this bloodhound is correct, it already seems kind of unreasonable. I don't know about that number. Let's keep flipping. A second surgeon. Well, let's see if one of them makes a kill. That is really unfortunate. It shouldn't be able to do that. To kill something as I flip it over. Well, we know that one of these 2 surgeons is good, but that doesn't really help us because we know that the other one is bad. Okay. Therapist. 0 evil clients. Therapist could be good. This could be the drunkard. But, like, what if it's all 3 of these? I need to find the specter. No, I don't need to find the specter. It's the other one that is face up. Okay, we find a stalker, which I could use. Oh, why is this not flipped up? It's not showing us the stalker tooltip. Oh, here it is. Pick a surrounding neighbor. I pretend to be their appearance. I might kill them. If they are tainted, I always kill them. Sorry? Okay, we don't have a specter. I don't think. But I just advanced the clock by stalker picking. We also have an accountant, so maybe that didn't work. Pick a role. I announce if they are an innocent role. Does using abilities advance the clock? If so, that's a little bit annoying. I think I'm going to just like do this. Sorry, why are my abilities not working?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Not Siri. Sorry, why are my abilities not working? Oh, it did work. It just advanced the clock. 5 is not innocent. I think I buy that. Why did this not work? I don't know if it actually made the clock move, but I don't want to test it too far. Let's try this again. Oh, I see why it didn't work. I tried to select the Bloodhound. Instead, it selected itself. Oh, that is confusing. The weatherman tells us 6. and then 9. So these two seem to be at odds with each other. Okay. And the surgeons are clearly at odds with each other too, right? This mathematician can never be correct. We know we have an accountant. We know we don't have a specter. But we do have a drunkard. The therapist can never be evil with the mathematician, so I think that the mathematician is simply a drunkard. Or the mathematician is evil and the therapist is the drunkard, but then how do you square up all of this other double claims? I don't think that you can. I think that means I have to trust the researcher. And by the way, I clicked here with the researcher because I was happy to learn about 3 and 5. I think that both of those are good. I think we have to arrest this. This will either be the barkeep or the accountant. That's the accountant. And now I don't know that there is a way to sort this, but I do believe this is simply our drunkard. And I'm going to not trust the stalker, I think. Nice. Okay, it was a 50-50 there. Just kind of went by my gut. But the bloodhound, it would have had to put itself like in such a specific lie. But I guess it all could have worked out in the end. Regardless, we now get to move on to our final case. And I will count this as a blind victory. It's not quite a blind victory. It could even be harder, to be honest, with the quirks that we currently have. At least one traitor. That is all that we get to know. It is not going to tell us how many meddlers, how many other things. What are they called in this game? The underlings. We have no clue how many underlings. But we know we have some evils in here. 6 is the skeptic. And the skeptic ain't telling me jack squat. Because I need excellent reputation in order to interact with the skeptic. I guess we can still see, but you know what? I think I don't even care about this skeptic. We just need to... Oh gosh, and then we also have the recruiter. I forget what this does. All meddler roles become evil and lie. Well, if we have this, I'll be happy. Because then I'll just arrest everyone and hopefully we win. But without that, might be tough. The wife saying, I love number 9. That could mean that this is an idol. Is this a skeptic? I gotta see. It's not a skeptic. I'm now thinking this could be an idol. Calculated the number 27. Is that a reasonable number? Possibly. But this partner is wrong. Let's see what this is. Another mathematician. A double claim. A traitor cannot double claim. I might trust this mathematician. 23. How can we get to 23? Well, 6 plus 17. This partner is wrong, though. But this can never be an idol. I'm going to start... Let's flip over a few more things. But I'm going to have to arrest one of these two mathematicians and make a bunch of inferences based off that. Clockmaker. 14 to 15 hours. Okay, we'll circle back to you. You've avoided it for now. The barkeep face up could be our outcast or it could be bad. But that is still good information. This clockmaker is wrong, by the way. Wrong. And yeah, this could still be really good information for the potential mathematics later. All right, let's keep flipping. And we find the preacher. Okay. So either we have 3 or 5, but not both in this math. So if this mathematician is right and this one's wrong, then it's 9 plus 3 or 5. So we're looking at either 12 or 14 for a remainder of 13, or, oh gosh, there's a lot of possibilities still. Let's flip over 7. We find the therapist, which says 1 evil client. Flip over 4. Oh, the scoundrel. The scoundrel is not because of the meddler. The scoundrels always face up. So either all 3 of these are evil or just the scoundrel is evil. We actually might have enough face-up evils. I was talking about blind mode, but this is like the opposite of blind mode now. Everyone is just saying, oh hey, over here, I'm evil. The existence of a barkeep is a little bit tricky because some information that is like proving or not proving something, like this therapist could be the drunkard making this barkeep look good. 16 hours. The clockmaker never rang. Right. Okay, let's keep flipping. Private Eye says 12 is an underling. I will say 12 is a really big number, but 1 is a number that could help us with some other smaller mathematics. But at the same time, like, I don't know how many evils there are. 4, 5, 1, 9. There's only 19. Is there a chance that there are 4 underlings? And I'm just managing the clock here. I'm doing all of my moves slow. I don't think I can actually investigate anything else. I don't think I can, because I will lose 4 reputation if we reach the 24th hour. If I flip this over, that's 2 hours and then 5 arrests. It's just not going to work. Now, what about this mathematician? If this mathematician needs to get to a 23, and we get there with like 6 plus 5, that's 11. Plus 4 is 15, plus 8. That would do it. I think that's what I'm going to go for. Okay. We have to do the scoundrel last. Let's start with the mathematician. That's actually a barkeep. Okay. That does throw off some things, but that means that this barkeep is actually now good. It confirms our face-up barkeep is not being the barkeep. This preacher will lie when we arrest it and tell us that it is the judge. All that means is that we don't have a judge. We actually have... Oh no, if we have a recruiter, I've already lost. Well, let's hope that's not the case. Let's arrest... Oh, wow. No. This can't be the recruiter. It can't be the idol. It has to be the critic. If this is the critic, we are looking very, very good. Baby. Wow. I did not think I could do it. That was a case well solved, I think. I think you have to admit that, and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more Dupery. But for today, that is going to be it for me. Definitely got a little bit lucky, but it all worked out. I think that we got like the easiest trader there, to be totally honest, because all of the other ones would have put more pressure on us. But wow, able to solve it basically blind. Not quite as blind, but also more blind in some other ways. I think this could have possibly been harder because I didn't even know how many evils there were and kind of had to hope that the mathematician, like if I know how many evils there are, the mathematician becomes easier in a lot of ways. I will say this final case with everything being face up, despite it being blind mode, was definitely something that made it a lot easier. But that is going to be it for me for today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm No Lux Given. Peace.